Any reproduction of this training video, in part or in whole, is unlawful and strictly prohibited without the prior written consent of ViaGrafix Corporation. Included with your videotape is a course index. This contains reference numbers which will allow you to quickly access sections and topics with ease. In order to use this, you should reset the counter on your VCR to 0 now.
The Teach Yourself series from ViaGrafix, designed to teach you to use your computer the fast and easy way.
I'm Paula Kennedy, along with David Cooper.
When Microsoft presented the public with Windows 95, a vast majority of the computerized world adopted the new technology.
We can assume that Windows 98 will be even more popular because Windows 98 is even easier to use and has done a very nice job of blending in the benefits of the Internet.
In this tutorial, we will learn the basics of Windows 98 and how to maneuver through its main features. This will enable us to work faster and more efficiently at our computer. In this tutorial, we'll learn how to use a mouse, the desktop, perform task switching, use shortcut menus, the Windows Explorer, and Find.
We'll place a program in Startup, add a folder, copy files into a folder, learn to rename a folder or file, and format a disk.
The Windows 98 desktop mimics the top of an ordinary desk.
We use this desktop for file management and to use programs by opening other windows and applications.
The pictures we see on the desktop are called shortcut icons. They are like folders sitting on our desk. Here we are at the Windows 98 desktop. Notice it has a green background with several small pictures. When first starting Windows 98, you will see a Windows 98 dialog box. To see the desktop, simply click the Close button. Let's spend a moment getting oriented with the desktop. This entire area is the desktop. On the left are graphics called shortcuts. You will often hear these shortcuts referred to as icons. The terms are pretty much interchangeable. The reason why we refer to these graphics as shortcuts is because they allow us to quickly open a window for the item they symbolize. This may be a program such as Microsoft Outlook, a part of our computer such as my computer, or a file we've saved to here on the desktop, although we haven't saved any files here.
It's well worth our time to learn about the terms shortcut and icon. The term icon refers to a graphic that can be clicked on to do something. It's just a symbol.
We can have several shortcut icons on our desktop. They provide a quick way for us to access programs or files. You'll hear these referred to as icons, shortcuts, and shortcut icons. In this case, they all refer to the same thing. We'll quickly name the shortcuts displayed here. As we do this, you'll notice the tooltips that pop up when our mouse pointer is placed over them and their complete names are displayed. Right now we see shortcut icons for My Computer, My Documents, Internet Explorer, the Recycle Bin, Set up Microsoft Network, Online Services, Connect to the Internet, and Outlook Express, Microsoft Outlook, and finally Set up for Microsoft Internet Explorer. When you look at your own desktop, you may see more or less depending on what is installed. If Windows is new to you, don't let the number of shortcuts you see intimidate you. They each have a fundamental purpose. For now, let's take a moment to discuss some of the most popular shortcuts. The My Computer icon shows us the content of our computer and lets us perform file management tasks. The My Document shortcut is a new default for Windows 98. This is a shortcut everyone is almost certain to use every time they turn on their computer. It enables us to open any of the files in the My Documents folder on our computer without having to access the program they were created in first. The recycle bin holds files we've discarded. We'll discuss other shortcuts later as our exercises progress. For now, we'll point out the other items on the desktop. The button in the lower left corner of the window is the Start button. This button can be used to access anything we need in Windows 98. It is definitely the cornerstone of using Windows 98 because it is the key to any activity in Windows 98. The gray bar that the Start button rests over is called the taskbar. The taskbar serves many purposes. First of all, it holds the Start button. Later, we'll see how it displays our open applications and how it allows us to activate the different windows that are open. And with the new web integration in Windows 98, we can add an address bar to the taskbar that will open the website we enter. We can also use the taskbar to close an application, arrange open windows on the desktop, check the time of day, and open applications. Presently, we do not have any applications running. Before we get too carried away with the features of Windows 98, let's focus our attention on the white pointer. As you probably know, this pointer is controlled by our mouse. Wherever we move the mouse, the pointer moves as well. Windows 98 requires the use of a mouse to navigate from window to window and to choose options. The mouse is a handheld device used to move the on-screen pointer. This one has 2 buttons, although some may have 3.
We'll be demonstrating with a mouse that has 2 buttons. Anytime we click with our mouse, we are referring to the button on the left side.
We click the left mouse button to select things like icons, menus, and commands. The terms select, choose, or highlight all refer to clicking with the left mouse button unless directed otherwise.
The right mouse button is used less often, but is still vital to Windows. We refer to clicking the right mouse button as right-clicking.
Right-clicking in various places will display a pop-up menu containing context-sensitive commands that can be used for the open window. Let's officially get acquainted with the mouse by performing some simple tasks. First, let's open a shortcut menu. We place the white pointer in a blank area of the window where there aren't any other icons or bars, then right-click the mouse. A shortcut menu appears. We'll discuss using menus like this one later. For now, we'll close the menu. Windows 98 offers a few different ways to close menus. One way is to select a command from the menu. Other options are to press the Escape key or click the left mouse button outside the menu. We'll click outside the menu on an empty spot on the desktop. This closes the menu. Now let's try a new move. We'll learn to drag with the mouse and to change the position of the taskbar with a single exercise. We place the pointer on the taskbar, then hold down the left mouse button and drag the mouse to the right side of the desktop. When we see the new position, we release the mouse. We can also place the taskbar on the left side of the window by dragging it to the left, or move it to the top by dragging it up. We'll return the taskbar to its default position at the bottom of the window. By carefully placing our mouse over various boxes, we can resize them. For this example, we'll resize the taskbar. When our pointer looks like a double-headed arrow, we drag the mouse up to make the taskbar wider, or drag it down to make the taskbar more narrow. The taskbar will remain positioned this way until we change it again. Keep in mind that we can also resize a window using this strategy.
Double-clicking is another common use of the mouse. It can be a little hard to get used to at first. The trick is to hold the mouse in a fixed position and click it twice real fast.
Double-clicking selects items automatically. To access programs or files through their shortcut icons on our desktop, we double-click on them. Let's see the contents of our computer. We place the pointer over the My Computer icon, then double-click. This opens the My Computer window and a My Computer button appears on the taskbar. Windows 98 displays a button here for any active or minimized window. But before we learn how to use this window, let's discuss the basic attributes of a window. All windows have a title bar, a control button, minimize, maximize, or restore, and close buttons, menus, items inside the window, and most windows in Windows 98 will have tools and an address bar depending on the application. Across the top is the title bar. When a window is active, we'll notice the title bar is blue, just like the My Computer window is now. But if we click the desktop, we notice that the title bar for the My Computer window is washed out to gray. That's because we just told Windows that we want to use the desktop instead of the My Computer window. Windows responds to this by deactivating the My Computer window. To confirm the message, the title bar changes color. Windows 98 will allow us to use more than one window at a time. By looking at the color of a Windows title bar, we can always distinguish which window is active. Clicking the My Computer window causes the title bar to activate once again and turn blue. Another purpose of the title bar is to move the window. By placing the mouse over the title bar, then dragging, we are able to reposition the My Computer window. Title bars have 4 buttons, 1 on the left and 3 on the right. The button or icon on the left is the program icon for the window that is open. Since this is the My Computer window, the program icon here is a computer. We'll refer to this as the control button. When the control button is clicked, the control menu appears. Each of the commands inside relate to the window itself. The first command is restore. It is dimmed and unavailable when the window is already in a restored position, as it is now. Restore. The restore command makes the window smaller because the default size is small. It's available when the window is maximized over the entire desktop. Move. The move command turns our pointer into a 4-headed arrow, so we can reposition a restored window. Remember, windows are always moved using the title bar. The size command changes the pointer to a resizing arrow so we can drag a side of the restored window. The minimize command collapses the window to a button on the taskbar. The maximize command is only available when the window is in the smaller restored size. It maximizes the restored window so it covers the entire desktop space. The close command closes the open window. When a window is closed, its button will no longer appear on the taskbar. The key combination of Alt plus F4 will close any window without choosing the close command. With a control menu open, let's minimize and maximize the window. Right now our window is restored, only taking up a portion of the desktop. We click the maximize command and the window engulfs the entire desktop. To shrink the window to its previous size, we'll restore it by clicking the control button, then choosing restore. The window shrinks. While the window is in this restored position, we can move or resize it to our liking. Let's click the control button, then select move from its menu. Notice the pointer becomes a 4-headed arrow and is repositioned on the title bar. While in this mode and position, we can drag anywhere on the desktop. When we release the mouse, the window is set at a new position. There are 2 more commands in the control menu that we haven't tried, but this time instead of opening the control menu by clicking the control button, we'll use the key combination of Alt plus the spacebar. Notice the control menu opens without using the mouse. Now we'll minimize this window. Notice how it collapses into a button on the taskbar. Minimizing windows is a key concept to multitasking, which we'll discuss later. To restore this window, we can simply click the My Computer button on the taskbar. Now we'll close this window by pressing Alt plus the spacebar to open the control menu, then choosing Close. We're going to carry on with our lesson about windows, but this time we'll use the Recycle Bins window. First, we select the Recycle Bin by double-clicking its shortcut icon. On the title bar is a picture of the Recycle Bin for its control button. Clicking the button displays the same control menu we just used. This is because every single window is organized in this manner. Let's close the control menu by pressing the Escape key. Now we'll use the 3 icons on the right side of the title bar. The first one has a straight line. It's used to minimize the window. We click it, and the window collapses inside the Recycle Bin button on the taskbar. To reopen this window, we click its button on the taskbar. The next icon over is used to maximize and restore the window. Since our window is in the smaller restored size, the icon will maximize our window. We click it and the window takes over the entire desktop. Looking in the upper corner, we see the icon is different now. It represents the restored size. We click it and the window is restored. The last icon on the right is the Close button. Clicking it will close the window just like selecting Close from the Control menu or pressing Alt plus F4. We won't use this right now. Instead, we'll close the window by double-clicking the Recycle Bin's Control button.
You may pause the tape now to practice on your computer.
Let's review what we covered in this chapter. We learned what the desktop, shortcuts, and the taskbar do.
We discussed how to use the mouse, then opened a window and learned how to manipulate it.
Before we use this window, let's discuss menus. Menus contain commands used in a window.
We open a menu by clicking it, pressing Alt plus the letter underlined in the menu, or by placing the pointer over the menu bar, then pressing the Enter key. We double-click the My Computer icon, and its window appears. So we can see it better, let's maximize this window by clicking the Maximize button in the upper right corner. This window has a menu bar with 6 menus, as well as icons for our A drive, C drive, and D drive. Everyone should have a floppy disk drive. In our case, this is A. Our hard drive is represented by drive C. D drives are usually reserved for a CD-ROM. If the My Computer window that appears on your computer is different, don't worry, every computer can be set up differently. It's common to have a B drive or others for additional drives, all depending on the hardware installed. For example, some computers have drives from A to F, or more. It all depends on how much has been installed to the computer. Now let's turn our attention to the folders in this window. They include printers, the control panel, dial-up networking, and scheduled tasks. Again, more or less may appear depending on what is installed to the computer. Now we'll open the File menu by pressing Alt and the F key at the same time. The commands here are dimmed and unavailable with the exception of My Computer. Work offline and close. To open another menu, all we need to do is move the pointer over it. Let's select the Edit menu. Now we'll move the pointer over to View, Go, Favorites, and Help menus. Each is opened as the pointer passes over it. Also notice a description of the highlighted menu or command is placed in the gray bar at the bottom of the window. This is called the status bar. The status bar will display an explanation for the highlighted command, whether it is bold and available or dimmed and unavailable. To close a menu, we can select one of its commands. Press the Escape key twice, click the menu bar, or click an empty part of the window. We'll click the menu bar. Now let's start working with the window. Let's view the properties of our C drive. By right-clicking over the C icon, we open a shortcut menu. This is the shortcut menu for our hard drive. If we right-click a different folder such as Control Panel or A drive, we'd see a different menu. To select a command, we can click it like we've done before, or press the letter underlined in the command. We can also use the arrow keys to highlight the command, then press Enter. We press the R key to select Properties. The Properties dialog box appears. Properties dialog boxes are a big part of managing Windows. There are properties for just about every component on our computer, ranging from hardware like an internal modem to files. This See Properties dialog box is composed of 3 categories which Windows organizes with tabs. The tabs in this dialog box are General, Tools, and Compression. This may differ on your computer. Since the General tab is selected, it pulls away from the rest. General Properties displays the amount of used and free space on our hard drive. Now let's select the Tools tab by clicking on it. The tab pulls away to show it's selected. Here we can check our hard drive for errors, the backup status, and defragmentation status. To run any of the tools, we click on the related button. To close the box, we'll press Escape. In most dialog boxes, there is a big difference between selecting OK and the Cancel button.
Selecting the OK button will implement all changes made in a dialog box.
We can click the Cancel button when we don't want to make our changes or when we know our changes we entered have already been implemented. Windows 98 stores data in folders. If you use DOS, you'll remember them as directories.
We can view the folders and files of any drive.
To view the folders and files on our hard drive, we double-click the C icon. Several folders and files appear. To view the contents of one, we double-click it. Let's view the contents of the Program Files folder. We select this folder and see its contents stored in alphabetical order. Folders will always appear first, with files alphabetized after folders. Most applications are installed to this folder. To see the contents of a folder, we select it. Let's open the Microsoft Office folder. Then Office. This shows everything installed to our computer in the Office folder. This is an excellent time to demonstrate using a Windows scroll bar. Every window with more content than what fits in the window will have a scroll bar so we can view the rest of it. Scroll bars can appear on the left or right side of a window, going up and down, or at the bottom horizontally. To scroll up and down in small increments, click the up or down arrow buttons of the scroll bar. A faster way to scroll is to place the pointer over the scroll box, then drag it up or down. The same methods apply when using a horizontal scroll bar. While viewing the folders of a computer, the address box shows the path to the folder being viewed. We can easily maneuver through the Windows hierarchy by using menu commands or the tools representing them. The Up tool will always take us up the Windows hierarchy. Let's click it until we return to the C folder. The back and forward icons can be used to navigate through areas of the window we've already visited. Right now, our window is displaying the computer's contents with large icons, but we can display them differently. To adjust the tools, we'll open the View menu. Now, before we select anything, notice the third section of commands. The first command in this section is large icons, and it is preceded with a black dot to indicate that this is our current view. By selecting small icons, the view changes. To display more information about a window's contents, we open the View menu, then select Details. Columns for name, size, type, and modified appear. Yet a faster way to change views is with the toolbar. The back, forward, and up tools are used to navigate our way through the folders and files. Cut, copy, and paste are used to rearrange the placement of files and folders or to get rid of them. Undo undoes the last action performed. Delete removes folders or files. Properties displays more data for folders or files. And the last tool is Views. To change the view, let's click this tool over and over again. To choose an exact view, we can click the down arrow beside the View tool. When this is selected, a menu slides out. We'll make sure Large Icons is selected. To see a different folder other than the one for my computer, we click the down arrow button on the address line. From here, a list of what is on our computer appears. This list is in a special order. First, the desktop, because it is the first place we see files stored. Next is My Computer. It's indented a little to show that My Computer is accessed from the desktop. Below My Computer are its major components. Each is further indented below My Computer. To see the contents of any of these, we just click it. Let's go to the control panel by clicking it. Notice our entire window changes. Until now, we've been using the standard Windows 95 method of using Windows, that is to double-click folders in order to select them.
With Windows 98, we can use the single-click method to help us select items faster. We can change to this web-styled single-click method from several places in Windows 98, including the desktop, the My Computer window, Control Panel, or Windows Explorer.
To change to the single-click method of Windows 98, we open the View menu, then choose Folder Options. With the General tab selected, we see 3 different styles listed below, and a large preview box so we can see what each style looks like. Right now, the custom style is selected, but we'll change this to the web style so we can have single-click capabilities, much like a web browser. In fact, by selecting web style, we are allowing Windows 98 to take web integration between the Internet Explorer and the Windows environment one step further. The preview shows us what to expect. And we press Enter. Then choose OK. The control panel remains open. Initially, we notice that each icon title is underlined. In a moment, we'll find out how easy it is to select items with a single click instead of double clicking.
You may pause the tape now.
Let's review what we've covered in this chapter. We opened the My Computer window from the shortcut on the desktop, then discussed how to use menus and their commands.
We looked at some components of My Computer and saw how each window had its own properties. We looked at different views and discussed the toolbar.
Finally, we changed our settings so we can use the web style. One of the strengths of Windows 98 is the ability to multitask. This means we can perform several different activities at the same time. For example, we can be working on a letter in Word and at the same time have a contact manager, a database, and a fax program opened.
Switching from window to window is as simple as restoring it from the taskbar. We'll do quite a bit of this in the coming exercises. Now are you ready to have some fun? The Start button lets us access programs and files. Let's try it. We still have the control panel open, but that's okay because Windows 98 has multitasking capabilities, meaning that we can have several windows open at the same time and switch from task to task. To demonstrate how to switch from task to task, we're going to keep several windows open. The taskbar will display a button for each window. To begin, place the pointer over Start and click. This releases a menu with at least 12 icons. Windows Update, New Office Document, Open Office Document, Programs, Favorites, Documents, Settings, Find, Help, Run, Log Off and Shut Down. The Programs icon gives us access to the programs on our computer, including a Microsoft DOS prompt. The Documents icon lists the 15 most recently edited and saved documents. Settings gives us access to hardware settings and customization tools. Find locates programs or files. Help opens the Windows 98 Help area. Run is one of the methods we can use to run files and install programs. Shutdown opens the shutdown window with options to shut down the computer, restart the computer, or restart the computer in MS-DOS mode. Networks will also offer the ability to log on as a different user. With shutdown highlighted, we press Enter. The screen dims and the Shutdown Windows dialog box appears. We can escape from this by clicking the Cancel button, pressing Escape, or by using the key combination of Alt plus F4. We press Escape and the shutdown box goes away. Let's open the Start menu again. Let's place the pointer over Programs. Notice we do not have to click another menu listing. Our programs open automatically. Many programs have a black arrow at the right end, like Accessories does. When we see this, it indicates to us there will be another menu appearing. We place the pointer on Accessories and see a flyout menu. Some of the accessories have arrows indicating another flyout. This is common. But we don't want to open any accessories right now, so we move the pointer back to the Programs bar. To highlight documents, we place our pointer over it. The submenu we see is empty since we haven't saved any files yet. Now let's slowly run the pointer down the menu options. We see what's available in each of the commands, and also see that Help, Run, Log Off, and Shutdown don't have additional menus. For now, we'll press Alt plus F4 to close this window.
For anyone using a Microsoft Natural keyboard, you're about to see the benefits.
The Microsoft Natural keyboard has a set of Microsoft Windows flag keys. One is on the lower left side of the keyboard, in between the Control and Alt keys. The other is on the lower right side of the keyboard. These keys can be pressed to open the Start menu. Let's try the Windows flag key. Once we press it, the Start menu is displayed. To close it, we click outside the menu. The other special key on the Natural keyboard has a picture of a pull-down menu and a pointer. We use this key to display a shortcut menu for the open window. Look at the right side of the Microsoft Natural keyboard. We find the key with a pull-down menu and a pointer on it. We press it, and the shortcut menu for the selected icon or window will appear. Try this in different windows. To close it, we press Escape. Let's go back to the Start menu and open a program. We click the Start button, go to Programs, Accessories, then click Notepad. This starts Notepad. Notice the program's name is displayed on the taskbar. Anytime we start using Notepad, we begin a note. Since this isn't saved yet, Untitled appears by Notepad. With an insertion point blinking inside the Notepad window, we'll type Windows 98 has added many new features. To save our work, we open the File menu, then click Save. Because we haven't named this yet, the Save As dialog box is in our window. Before naming a file, we select where we want it saved. Notice the Save In box is going to save it inside the My Documents folder. If we wanted to save it to a different folder, we'd simply click the drop-down arrow for Save In, then choose a different location. But we'll accept this location. Now it's time to name the file. One of the benefits of Windows 98 is that we can name our files just about anything we want. We can use letters, numbers, or blank spaces.
And what's amazing is that Windows 98 allows over 200 characters for the title. We really benefit from this flexibility because it can make figuring out what a file stores so simple.
Another thing to note is we don't have to add extensions. Windows 98 will add the proper extension automatically, although it doesn't display them. It's a good idea to name files according to what they contain. It's easier to figure out what a file called Windows 98 Introduction Tutorial contains compared to one called Script. The Save As type box at the bottom of the Save or Save As dialog box indicates the type of file we are saving. This eliminates the old necessity to manually enter the extension type of a file at the end of the file name. Now we enter the file name. Ordinarily, the file name box will be highlighted when we open the dialog box. At this time, highlight the box if it isn't already highlighted by double-clicking the box. With it highlighted, we can begin entering this new name. We'll type Sample Text File. Watch how the untitled text is automatically replaced by this new text. Now let's look at the Save As Type box. Notice our file will be saved as a text document. Some applications will offer a variety of different file types. Our options are limited in Notepad.
This dialog box can teach us a lot more than just how to save a file created in Notepad. It teaches us how to save files in different locations, how to enter file names, and save them as different types of files.
Learning to save files as different types is very useful. One of the major reasons it is so useful is because we often save files in one application, then open them in others, maybe on a different computer using a totally different program.
A good example of this is when saving word processing files. We may have created a file using Word for Windows 98 and later want to open the file in WordPerfect. The Save As Type option will allow us to save the Word file in the WordPerfect format of our choice.
Each program gives us different choices. We are saving this as a text document. But before we close this dialog box, there are a couple of things we can learn. First of all, notice the Save button is highlighted with a dark border around the button. If this is the button we want to select, we don't have to click on it. We can press Enter, and that works just like clicking the button. Frequently, we have a dialog box with an OK button and a Cancel button. When OK is highlighted, we can press the Enter key, and it's the same as clicking OK.
The same thing goes to Yes and No buttons. If Yes is selected and we want Yes, we can just press Enter. Likewise, if No is selected and we want No, we can press Enter.
We press Enter, and the file is saved as if we click the Save button. The title bar reflects the new title, and so does the taskbar. Let's review what we covered in this chapter. We discussed the Start button and its menu, learned about two special keys on the Microsoft Natural Keyboard, and opened Notepad through the Start menu.
Then we learned how to specify where files are saved and how to save them as different types of files.
Finally, we learned how to take advantage of the highlighted button in a window.
The Windows Explorer is similar to the My Computer window in the sense that they both show us what's on the hard drive, but the Explorer is more helpful for file management.
There are a couple of ways to start the Explorer. The most obvious way is to click the Start button, go to Programs, then click Windows Explorer. But we don't want to do it this way, so we'll click the Start button to close the Start menu. Now we'll use a quick way to open the Explorer. We place the pointer over the Start button, then right-click. A small menu appears with Open, Explore, and Find. We click Explorer, and the exploring window appears. This window is divided into two parts. The left side is labeled All Folders and displays the directory structure of our computer. The right side shows us the contents of the selected folder. Our first exercise will be to find the sample text file. When we know where a file is located, this is simple to do by opening Folder and visually searching for a file. But before we search for the file, let's maximize the Notepad window with this file so we can see where it is stored. With the window maximized, we open the File menu, then choose the Save As command. The Save As command is used to save a file to a location other than the one it is currently saved in. The Save In box at the top of the dialog box shows us that this file is saved in the My Documents folder. By clicking the drop-down arrow for this Save In field, we can see the hierarchy of folders that leads to this destination. Notice My Documents is found on the desktop. This tells us what we need to know, so we'll click the Cancel button to close the dialog box. To activate the exploring window instead of the Notepad, we'll click the exploring window, which is behind the Notepad window. This activates the exploring window with one click. Now let's use the Explorer to find where the sample text file is located. Using the hierarchy of folders at the left of the window, we'll scroll up this list until we see the desktop. Now we click the desktop so that its contents are displayed on the right side of the exploring window. Here we see the My Documents folder, which we can click to open. The sample text file is displayed here. This shows how easily we can find a file by opening specific files in the Windows Explorer. When we know where to find a file, or even have a pretty good idea where to look, it's a good choice to use the Explorer to open the folders leading to that file. Once we find the file, we can use Windows Explorer to rename the file, delete it, copy it to another folder, relocate it, print it, or other file management tasks. But when we have difficulty finding the file or don't know where it may be stored, it's a good idea to use the Find window. The most common places to access the Find window are from the Start menu and the Windows Explorer. We can find a file in the Exploring window by opening the Tools menu, selecting Find, then choosing the Find feature we need. We want the Files or Folders command. Selecting it opens the Find All Files window. This is the same window we'd see if we selected Find from the Start menu. The window has a menu bar, 3 tabs, and 3 buttons on the right. Of the 3 tabs, the Name and Location tab is currently selected, and the cursor appears inside the named box. If we know the name of the file, or at least part of the name, we can enter it here. We'll enter Sample Text File, since we know this is the name for the file. If we know of an unusual word or phrase in the document, we can type it here in the Containing Text box. This will reduce the number of files matching our criteria. We'll type 98 here, since this is text that we know appears in our file. The third field is Look In. This is very important since it tells Find where we want to search on the computer. We'll click the drop-down for this option, then select My Computer so our entire computer is searched. Below this, notice the Include Subfolders option is selected. This is good because we want to find files in addition to any directories. Once we click the Find Now button, it begins. This search will take a while because Find will show everything that resembles this file. There will be files with sample, text, and file in the name. And because we entered 98 in the Containing Text field, Find is also eliminating any files that don't match both the named and containing text criteria. As files are found, they are listed at the bottom of the window with their name, what folder they are in, size, type, and last date modified. We can scroll to see this better. So many files are found that we need to scroll through them until we find the sample text file near the bottom of the list. The columns of files found can be resized. Simply place the mouse between on the edge of a column heading. When the pointer becomes a resizing arrow, just drag to resize the columns. To open the file from this window, we click the file name. The file now appears in the program window it's stored with. On the taskbar, we see there are 2 program icons for the sample text file. Windows kept the original open since we didn't close it, but also opened another one from the list of files found. Throughout this tutorial, or any Windows-based tutorial, we're going to deal with multitasking. As shown here, we can open multiple windows of the same program, such as Notepad in this case, and of different programs. We don't need to have this Notepad window open, so let's close it by clicking its Close button. The Find window now appears on the top of the various windows that are open. When trying to find a file, it's important to remember that the tabs in the window work in conjunction with each other to find files based on the criteria entered. So for example, we can use the Name and Location tab to enter text contained in the file, then use the Date tab to enter a time frame for when the file was created. Find will use all the criteria to find the file. Let's click the Date tab so we can discuss its options. The Date tab has 2 primary options. They are All Files and Find All Files that are modified, created, or last accessed. When we do want to specify dates, such as for finding a file that is consistently updated and renamed like a weekly report, then we should use the Find All Files option. We'll select this by clicking the white circle preceding the option. This white circle is known as a radio button and is often used for selecting an option. Now let's focus on the field to the right of this option. Right now it has the word Modified inside, but because this field has a button with a drop-down arrow at the end of it, we'll find there are other options. We click the drop-down button for Find All Files and see that we can search for files that were modified, created, or last accessed. We'll choose Created from the drop-down list, since we just created the file we'll be looking for and haven't made any changes to it. To make the find more efficient, we use the options below Find All Files. Notice that we can isolate this find to files that were created between two dates, during a previous number of months, or during a previous number of days. We'll choose the last option, during the previous days. If we know that we created this file within 1 day, then we can keep the number 1 in the white box for this option. To adjust the number of days from 1, we can click on the up and down arrows for this box. Another way to adjust the number of days in this box is to select it with our pointer, then type in a different number. To select it with our mouse, we can double-click the box or drag our mouse over the number. We'll double-click to select it. Now all we need to do is type in the number of days. Let's set this at 5 by pressing the 5 on our keyboard. We click the Find Now button and the files that comply with this criteria appear. What you see on your computer may vary from ours depending on when you installed Windows 98. Now we'll look at the Advanced tab. The first box lets us designate what type of file we're looking for. All files and folders appear here by default. This option is useful when we don't remember the name of the file we're searching for, but we do know what type of file it was. To specify a type of file, we click the drop-down list, then make our selection. We can scroll through the list to see the types of files. When we know the type we're looking for, we can press the first letter of this type of file until it appears in the list. For instance, we are looking for a text file, so we'll press T 3 times so that text document is selected, then press Enter. We can tab to the last boxes and enter the size of the file if we want. For this example, we won't. To find the file, we'll click the Find Now button, and our file is found using the criteria from all 3 tabs in the Find window. Because this search is cumulative and uses criteria from all the tabs, we'll notice that each tab reflects the most recent find. By clicking any of the tabs, we see that the sample text file is the only one listed because we finally narrowed our search to one file.
If we want to begin a new search, we should click the New Search button. This clears all the criteria we've entered for the find.
We're finished using Find, so let's close this window by clicking its Close button. Now we can view the Exploring window. We found our file using 2 methods, but because the file we're searching for is stored in the My Documents folder, we'd like to place special emphasis on the fastest way to find any document stored in the My Documents folder. First, we'll use the My Documents command from the Start menu. We simply click the Start button, then go to Documents. The file is listed here among the most recently used documents. The list of documents in the Start menu is updated with each new file created in or used from the My Documents folder, so these are always currently open files. To open it, we just highlight the file, then click. This opens the file we selected. To close this window, click its Close button.
We can use the Windows Explorer to move a file from one folder to another. In this exercise, we want to move the sample text file into a new folder, which we'll create. Our first step will be to create the folder.
The first step when creating a new folder is to select where on our computer's hierarchy we want to place the folder. We know the My Documents folder is selected because it is shown on the address line. The contents of My Documents appear in the right pane of the window. To create a new folder here, we open the File menu, then place the pointer over New. A flyout menu appears. To create a new folder, we choose this command. A new folder appears in the right side of the window. It's labeled as New Folder and is highlighted. This prompts us to rename it. Let's type ViaGrafix Learning Folder. Then press Enter. The file is named accordingly. To move the sample text file into this folder, we place the pointer over the file, then drag it over the ViaGrafix Learn folder, and release. The file now resides in this folder. To verify it, we click the ViaGrafix Learning folder to select it so that its contents appear on the right pane of the window. Notice the sample text file is here. We're progressing well, but we don't want our ViaGrafix folder listed below My Documents. Moving it is easy. We focus on the left side of the window. Place the pointer over the ViaGrafix Learn folder, then drag it up to the C drive. Once the folder appears over the C drive, we release the mouse. The ViaGrafix Learn folder is now placed in alphabetical order under the C drive and no longer a part of My Documents. Our next exercise will be to transfer the files from our learning disk to the ViaGrafix Learn folder. First, place the learning disk into the floppy drive. Ours is A. Now we find the same floppy drive on the left pane of the window and click it. The contents of the learning disk appear on the right side. We can transfer one file at a time to the ViaGrafix Learning folder by dragging files from the right to the ViaGrafix Learning folder on the left. But for copying more than one file, there is a faster way. With the first file selected, hold down the Shift key and place the pointer over the last file. Now we can release the Shift key. The files are selected. To move them to the ViaGrafix Learning folder, we'll click the Copy button. Then click the ViaGrafix Learning folder on the left side of the window. To place the files here, we'll click the Paste button. A dialog box appears stating we've already copied one of these files here. Click Yes. Use the Control key to pick and choose what files to select. To select all files, hold down the Shift key, then click the first and last file. Every file in the middle is selected this way. Next, we'll learn how to place a program in the Startup menu. First, we need to find the Startup folder. To do this, we focus on the left pane of the window. Find the Windows folder, then click it. From the contents that appear on the right, we'll locate the Start menu folder, then click. Next, we click Programs, then Startup. The right pane displays the contents of Startup. We're going to place the ViaGrafix Learning folder in Startup. So we'll scroll up the left side of the window until we find the folder, then we drag it to the right pane of the window where the contents of Startup are displayed. The ViaGrafix Learn folder is now placed in Startup. To see the results of this change, we need to restart the computer. So we click the Start button, then select Shut Down Computer. With Restart the Computer selected, we click OK. The computer starts to reboot, but an error occurs because the learning disk is inside the floppy drive. We take the disk out, then press any key on the keyboard. Now the system boots up. Windows now opens. First, we'll point out that each of the applications that we're running reopened. In addition to all of these, the ViaGrafix Learn folder opens in a small window. To see it, we need to view the desktop, so let's minimize all the open windows. To open any of the files, we'd simply click it. Anytime a folder is placed in Startup, it will automatically run when Windows starts, as we see here. For now, we can close this window by clicking its Close button. Let's maximize Explorer. Quizzes and tests are included with this learning disk. To print them, right-click a test file, then choose Print from the shortcut menu. We press Alt plus F4, and the Shutdown dialog box appears. With Shut Down the Computer selected, we press Enter. Windows 98 lets us know when it's safe to turn off our computer.
We've covered a lot of information in this tutorial. If you feel the need to review, simply rewind the tape and review that section again until you are comfortable with the material.
Our worldwide website address is www.viagrafix.com. Send your questions or comments on this tutorial via email to admin@viagrafix.com. For more information about ViaGrafix training products, email info@viagrafix.com, subject information. For sales questions or to place an order, email sales@viagrafix.com. We at ViaGrafix would like to thank you for choosing our company for your software training needs.
Remember, if you plan to learn about Windows 98 or any other computer software, there is no better way than through video training with ViaGrafix.